Hi, this is Jamison Campbell. I'm going to be giving a short presentation instead of a SCRUM meeting. I will be presenting a model of what my app will look like. I will be presenting a sequence diagram, my communication diagram, my behavioral state machine, and my crude matrix. I hope you find this video enjoyable, and so let's begin. Okay, so this is the model, if you can see it, of my app. So what you'll see when you click on Louisiana Social College app is a homepage, menu, create account, and login. When you click create account, you will be sent to this page, which will allow you to add a profile photo. A background will not be able to be selected. It will be your college logo that you are associated with. You will have account settings, scheduled events, profile, homepage, surveys to take from sponsors, inbox, and contacts. You will have your announcement boards and sponsored events calendar. This will show what dates sponsors have scheduled events for and will let you be able to interact or schedule those to attend. Next, this is my sequence diagram. If you can only see half of my actors or users, but we have the student registration, the student register, and the sponsor register. It will go through a authentication system. The system will authenticate the user's ID based on their student email or administration email if they are a sponsor, or company email. Then it will give you access to events. It will give you access to the ability to schedule an event. For sponsors, it will give the availability to create an event. It will give sponsors and students availability to send messages and delete messages. And it will also give them the students the options to take surveys and sponsors the options to create surveys. Next is my communication diagram. At first, we see the registration of a student account. A student will create an account and add account info to the system administration, which will validate the student's email and then give him access to messaging, scheduling events, and answering surveys. Next, a sponsor, if you look down here, which I mixed up the order, but the sponsor will register his account. He'll create his account. If they have a valid sponsor email, they will be able to go through the authentication system database, then access messaging, start events, and create surveys. Next is my behavioral state diagram. At first, we see the app account creation, which is right up in there. This where it says account app creation. So your account is created, student or sponsor, its email is authenticated, given access to account, able to choose settings and edit account, and then finally the account is edited. In our app, after app and student or sponsor access, you will be able you will go through processing of email, which is already done before, and which is the system that this is the system that does that. The accounts you request the account, emails processed. If it's an invalid email, then you have to correct the information and you are took back to processing email. After that, though, if the email sent is authenticate, then the email is processed, the account's created, the message system's accessible. You can view the message system, and then right here, send or post a message, or in this case on my model, it would be sending or sending a message through an inbox or posting an announcement message. Then the student or sponsor has the ability to access the surveys, and the sponsor has the ability to create surveys. The student has the ability to answer the surveys. Then the event schedule calendar. They'll be able to view events, both parties, and be able to schedule and create events. And that is all of the behavioral state machine. Here is my crude matrix. Our sponsor executes the authentication, or the authentication system actor and sponsor executes with each other. The system database is only able to be read by the sponsor and the student is also executes what the authentication system actor wants, which would be the system administrator. The authentication system administrator is in control of creating, reading, updating, and executing the sponsor's account and student's account. The system database is able to be read, updated, and executed by the authentication system administrator. The sponsor message system is able to be read and executed by the authentication system administrator. Then the authentication system administrator is able to create, read, update, and execute student message systems, create, read, update, and execute sponsored event calendars, and so forth. All the way to account settings, the authentication system administrator is able to, if you can see it, read, update, and execute. The sponsor is able to do a full crude matrix. They'll be able to create, read, update, delete, and execute their message systems. They'll be able to delete and send messages and update messages and read messages and create messages. The sponsor will be able to read and delete messages sent from a student. Sponsor event calendar can also use the entire crude matrix, or create, read, update, delete, and execute. The student event calendar, the sponsor can read and execute if he or she wants to let that student attend or not attend. The sponsor survey system is able to be created, read, updated, deleted, and executed by the sponsor. in creating their surveys. The student survey system, they're able to read and execute, which they're able to read what the students answered or what they said on the surveys. The student executes and answers the survey, updates it, and is able to read it. The student is able to read and delete sponsor messages. They're able to create, read, update, delete, and execute their own messages. Then they're able to read and execute on their sponsor event calendar. And then their student event calendar, they're able to create, read, update, delete, or execute any event in their calendar. Their sponsor survey system, they're only able to execute, they're only able to take a survey. Students aren't able to create surveys in my app. The student survey system also is only able to let the student read, update, and execute. The account settings for the sponsor and student, they can perform a full CRUD on their account settings. They are in complete control of their account settings and their information. Authentication system administrators will be able to create, read, update, and execute student message systems. They're able to read and execute sponsor message systems. And the reason I did that because they may need to remove content from a student or a sponsor. So they're able to create, respond, update, and execute on all of their systems, the calendar system, their survey system, and messaging system. The system database updates, deletes, and executes sponsor accounts if they are not in use anymore. They update, delete, and execute student accounts if they are not used anymore or no longer have a valid email address, student email address. And the system database creates, updates, and deletes and executes the authentication system. And then mostly the system database just updates and executes everything else. The sponsor messaging system, the sponsor account is updated and executed. The sponsor message system and student account is updated and executed. The authentication system actor is updated and executed. The system database with the sponsor message system is executed. And the sponsor message system with the student message system is updated in case a sponsor changes anything or sends a student another email or makes another announcement on a message board. And then it's pretty much the same thing happens throughout. It just updates and they just keep updating each other. That is pretty much my entire project. Thank you for viewing my video, and I hope you have a good time.